Leg day attire on a point. Always need to wear a wee pair of shorts, long socks. That's the A game there. As always, need to pick up Scott, weekend a monster to get me motivated because I'm feeling it today. I woke up a bit later and energy's a bit low, so yeah, energy's a bit low, but once I start the session, once I get into it, everything feels good. So yeah, let's smash this leg workout. The way it's looking is we've got hamstring curl first, reverse banded barbell squat, dumbbell split squats, leg extensions with lunges, and then I'm going to finish off with some calves and then biceps as well because we're trying to grow these arms. So yeah, I'll talk over it while I'm doing the session and explain why we're doing the movements, the benefits of putting them in the order that they're in, and then how that can then translate to when you guys are back in the actual gym as well, or even if you're home training and you've got similar equipment, how it would benefit you doing it that way, and yeah, all that juicy stuff. Right, I'm going to try this voiceover for a third time now because I ended up running out of enough footage to talk over. But here we go, starting off with a hamstring curl for leg day here. I like doing a ham curl or a leg extension first in the workout because I just feel like it warms up the lower body. And then obviously my ability to then do a hamstring curl later on in a workout, I feel like I can't really contract hard, and I find the loading that I'm able to put to my hamstrings is really a lot lower, and it's just a lot harder to do if I do it later on. So I've got a lot of energy at the start, so I'm able to get really good contractions and really focus on getting a good internal feel with these ham curls here. So this is my top set. Again, a bit brutal on this because simply it's a bit of a flat bench, so I've got nowhere for my hips to go. Whereas if you notice when you use a hamstring curl in a gym, your hips are usually sitting at a different position, which allows you to then transfer a bit more load and be a bit more of an optimal position to do the movement. But here we work into our bread and butter. So hamstrings are primed, lower body's warm, into our bread and butter movement here, which is reverse banded barbell squats. Now, I don't usually barbell squat simply because in terms of how my biomechanics are set up, it's a movement where I just get a fuck ton of lower back engagement in glute and hams and adductors. Obviously, my quads are going to be recruited, definitely, but as bodybuilding and as people that are trying to grow muscle, we want to pick movements that are going to bias the muscles that we want to grow. So if I want to grow bigger biceps, I'm going to do bicep curls, work them in different ranges. Again, there isn't one movement that's the daddy, the king of all exercises. A lot of people think it's squats. I disagree. A squat pattern and a squat movement, definitely, but it doesn't need to be traditional barbell squats. The fatigue they give off is a lot, and the demand they put on you in terms of the sort of risk to reward ratio is pretty shit in terms of you've got a high risk of injury with not the best stimulus to quads. Some people will grow great from them. For me, they're just not for me. But saying that, I've been enjoying them. It's been a really good movement. The bands are just essentially taking some lower back loading off at that bottom part, and I get a fuck ton of lower back loading. And I also RDL in the week, which is my lower back builder. So it means I've got room to progress that still. And the bands just help me out the bottom because at that bottom part here, that getting out that wee bottom part is where the quads are extremely weak. So by having the bands there, it just gives me a bit of assistance out of that bottom part. It allows me then to overload that mid position. Here I can overload that, and I've got 160 there. So in essence, it's a bit more of an optimal movement, if you will. This is actually a movement I would definitely keep in the gym just from pure enjoyment. But I'm missing that hack squat, and I'm missing feeling my quads burning from being on that hack as well. We jumped on after that to a dumbbell split squat. I think this was just a 40 kg dumbbell, so nothing too crazy. When I do these, I really feel a fuck ton of hamstring and glutes. Obviously, my goal right now is more quads than anything. So with home training, we kind of just need to deal with what we've got. Again, I will be getting quad recruitment from this, but not to the same extent that I am my glutes and my hams. Every time I do split squats, my arse is in bits after. It is brutal. But we done a cluster set here. So what a cluster set is 5 sets of 5 repetitions with 10-second intervals in between each one of those sets of 5. Now this just allows you to basically accumulate a lot more volume in a short space of time. When it comes to leg days, I don't like being in for fucking 2-3 hours. I hate that shit. I want to get in, absolutely smash it, give it everything I've got, and then get back out. So by adding intensity methods like this in, I can just get the job done. One, it will create a fuck ton of muscular damage. I'll get a really good stimulus. And then basically the way it works is, imagine I've done You know, I'm doing 40 kg. If I was doing this for maybe just a set, I'd maybe get 12 or 15. But by doing 5 sets of 5, I'm now getting 25 reps with that weight. Now that's a lot more overall volume. It's also going to be a bit more fatigue, but the risk, the reward I'll get from doing this is going to be a lot higher. Just due to the muscular damage I'm getting. One, it's more time efficient, and again, adding in these type of intensity methods, it's going to give my legs a reason to fucking grow. Legs is something that I really need to improve on. It's not something, they're not small, but simply because of my height, you know, 6'2" and a bit, almost 6'3", it's just harder to make your legs look bigger, and without just, all I need to do is just build more muscle mass, and then they'll look bigger. So another 15-20 pounds away of muscle, and I'm pretty sure we'll look like we've got some solid legs. After that, jumping on to leg extension. Again, I've always said, obviously this is a movement where we can get the quads really short. Short just basically means contracted. Now there's no other leg movement like a leg extension. There's no other movement with legs that you're able to do this and get the quads short. So usually I'll either put a leg extension first or the ham curl first, or both of them first, because the ability to then shorten a muscle is really hard at the end of a workout. But for this leg extension, it's really light, it's really easy. If I'd done these first, I could get 20, 25, 30 reps, but by doing them at the end, my quads are already fucked, so that weight that would feel light at the start now feels a bit heavier. I think this video's sped up a wee bit, and so the split squats, by the way, if that looked a wee bit fucking weird. But yeah, good movement. Again, I was trying to hold about a 2 count at the top, and then try and have as much eccentric control as I can. I also didn't do the walking lunges supersetted with this, because me and Scott were fucked. I think both of our sleep was just a bit shit. Energy wasn't on a good level, and we'd absolutely buried ourselves on the squats, so we just called it after leg extensions and battered in with some calves. Now, calves are something that people, I mean, a lot of people like to say, oh, my calf genetics aren't good, or I've just got shit calves. Like, it's a load of shit. You just don't train them. I'm really bad for it as well. I've been training now for 5-6 years. I've never went through a full year and trained them consistently ever. And yeah, that's why they're not big. It's not because I've got shit genetics. I just don't train them hard enough or often enough. So I'm going to start training calves a lot more. Calves. I took this wee set of hypertrophy coach. Fucking class. Yeah. Righty, so that is our wrap. So I think I've decided to do a voiceover of that video. So again, just going over each movement, why we do it. Again, just it's obviously more applicable to home training just now as opposed to being in the gym. But again, everything that I've spoke about in terms of placement, why I do it. Talk about obviously the strength profiles of different movements, etc. The resistance profile of a certain movement. You know, it's all the same going into the gym as well. So yeah, legs is all wrapped up. Tagged on biceps at the end of it, just 5 sets of biceps, worked in that lengthened range, and then we just worked in that mid range as well, so behind the body curl, and then just an easy bar curl. Again, arms is something I'm really trying to bring up. When I first started training, it was something I didn't do that much. I think I literally done 6 sets of curls a week, and then 6 sets of push downs a week for my first year of training. At least 6 months, so arms have always been a bit underdeveloped. It's not as if it's a genetic weak point, I just didn't work them hard enough. So a big priority now, as well as legs. Obviously, sometimes when you're in the gym, home training, even in the gym, sometimes try to have that motivation to train legs and push it to where you need to make them grow is a bit harder. So having a training partner like Scott and just having somebody there to push you, get that extra rep or two that's going to promote a fuck ton of muscular damage and is going to make you progress is what I need to make these legs grow. Obviously being a bit taller as well, 6'2", it's going to, if I add 5 pounds of muscle into my legs, it's going to look a bit different. If Scott, who's 5'6", 5 what?
Fuck knows, mate, 4 foot and also
5'8" or something. Obviously if somebody's shorter and they put on 5 pounds of muscle on their quads, you're going to see a lot more than somebody that's 6 foot plus. So for all you wanky boys out there, that's something to think about. But yeah, leg day wrap, that's the sort of end of the sort of lockdown sessions explained. I'll still be doing lockdown sort of training footage as well, but it'll be more sort of raw stuff as opposed to having to explain every single movement. I'll still talk through some stuff, but want to be to the same extent I have done today. So I think the next sort of kind of videos I'm going to try and ease into is a sort of day in the lives. So yeah, look forward to them. That is our wrap. If you did like this sort of video and these sort of style of videos, let me know and I'll try and continue them when we go into the gym, and it'll be a wee bit more applicable to you guys because you will also have the same equipment available. So catch you motherfuckers later.